This is Reverend Joy, and I have a short message about true value. And yes, like all my messages, this is a message meant for my sons. Because after I'm gone, they may not have anyone to tell them that they're still valuable. And I'm also here because of rumors I've suffered my whole life. All the ways that people led me to believe that I was not valuable, that God didn't want me, that God didn't love me. And yes, just like everything else I've recorded here on YouTube, it was to make sure my sons didn't have to believe in what other people told them, things that were not true. I used to move and keep quiet when faced with unfixable things. Yes, I still have a lot to learn about speaking up. I haven't used it enough to really fight for what's right yet. But I'm learning. I know I have to teach my sons to self advocate. So telling them my stories will help them in the end. I was taught in my family that women should be quiet and look pretty and have no right to have self respect or even healthy love. And I love my parents. I respect them. But I rebelled about that. And when my parents moved away at age 17, I was on my own. It wasn't something I was ready for or prepared for, but I'm glad I did. I moved often and I learned to like a gypsy lifestyle, my freedom and self respect. Those were the times it came easiest. Oh, and let me mention to my sons the reason why this message became is because there was you bet, a Facebook meme. And said simply, you can be complicated, messy, and afraid. Show up anyway. And I want them to remember that showing up is the biggest key to success. For example, I didn't want to have my own ministry. I would have been happy in my old faith until God basically told me I could not stay. I should not suffer if I felt disrespected. I feel strongly that when women are disrespected, that's where you find God. And it's tough because now that I bought a house, it's harder to move on like I used to. My kids are older. Some of the options we had to stay in one motel room wouldn't be possible now. I've always combated stereotypes, assumptions about what I mean, what I do, why something's important to me. I know people gossip about me only because the way they treat me, not because they ever ask me if what they heard is true. I suffer because there's so many people who play God in my life, who decided that me or my children held no value. But for my sons, and anyone listening, I want you to know that humans, all humanity, we are valuable for our soul alone. Our souls are made by a creator, and it is our souls that are eternal. Our souls are eternal, just like the God and Goddess that made us. The container the soul is in, no matter the coloring of the cover, the size, the shape, the imperfection or not, missing limbs or not, no matter how that container is damaged during our life or is affected by the aging process, our souls are still eternal. The soul is not the soul. The soul will always be valuable. The container will decay and die for everyone that is alive. But the eternal soul will live on. And God, in every religion, and Goddess in some, have told us that the soul is valuable. The soul is the only thing that returns to our Creator, not the container, not the body, not anything that we are so prideful about that we hold on to while we are alive. So I am here recording messages because I value my soul. It came at a price. I lost affection. I lost love. I lost a place in society and other places. So will be eventually my own organization only because I want my 3 sons and anyone else like them to have self-worth and be valued despite anything life has shown you so far. Because the way people treat you may not be the way God intended you to be treated, but keep you from treating others with respect, with dignity, with anything that gives them value. That is what we're here for. As humanity, we are God's hands, feet, arms. We are here as humans to help others in the name of God. God is everywhere because God is in our souls. So as we help others, as we show kindness to others, as we show compassion, mercy, instead of judgment, instead of dismissal, instead of devaluing, abuse, anything like that, when we are good to one another, God is there. And that should put a smile on your face. That should let you know how much you are valuable to God. Because God does not want you to suffer. My first really connection with God, I was more like a Buddhist. I meditated for an hour before going to bed with a candle, with a crystal. It gave me strength that I knew that my hope, my faith, my connection with God depended on no one other than feeling my own soul and valuing my own soul. Because, yes, when times get hard, and they will, there is only one person who can never abandon you, and that is yourself and the God that is there. So, you self esteem, self determination, all those are important. And that's really all that my ministry's for. As you can see, the camera's not pointed at my face. I'm not here to be famous. I'm not here to show you that I look good or what clothes I wear or anything. So now that you know my mission, please consider donating to help spread hope. I have specific needs. You can find them on an Amazon wish list. You can find that at ashadharma.com. It'll also be in the comments. I have a need desperately for $10,000 for catastrophic housing plumbing repair for the house that I must live in because my hair was made shorter than it should have been. I have a $5,000 need to repair car, the only car in a household of 4 adults, 3 of whom have special needs. They're my children. We have a need of $100 to incorporate a nonprofit. And no, I don't ask for just a donation because I do offer reiki treatment, pastoral counseling, barter or trade. I would rather have a different house. I would rather have a different car that I depend on running. It's been a long time since I've had good things in my life, but I haven't let it take my hope away. I hope that this message will allow you to always value yourself no matter what. Don't let it to illness, depression. Don't let single parenthood. Don't let sex before marriage. Any label deter you from knowing that you are valuable in God's eyes. If you can't find that, you try to find a place where you will be able to meditate until you can connect with the soul and the God within, because there is love that's there, even if you have no love from the people around you. And I am living proof of that. So, in love and peace, this has been Reverend Joy, or your mother. I'm your metaphysician, and I want you to be well. Good night.